everyone, and thanks for hitting that play button today, and welcome to part 1 of training your GSA Falcon. Now guys, this is us first time in the field now, so we've obviously done all of our indoor training from perch to glove, also lure training inside of the house so he knows what the lure is, or whether it be the garden, inside the house, whichever. So now we're just going to get straight at it to outside, and from here onwards to obviously him hunting hopefully and flying to the lure, free flying to the lure. So as you can see, I've threw the lure out twice now. He is heavy, he's sat just over 2 pounds, so this is just hunger today, nothing more, and I'm only asking him to come to the lure today. I'm not asking him to fly to the glove because I want him to solely be, you know, trained to the lure and not the glove. I do want him to come to the glove, but it's mainly a lure that you train a falcon to. So as you can see, he's on it today. There's a full chick on there, and now with that says done for today. And now I'm just going to sit down and let him enjoy that in his own time with plenty of confidence. There's no one about, a few dog walkers in the distance. This is why I do like to train outside, because of all the distractions and things like that. If I can have buildings around and get distractions and still get a reaction, don't get me wrong, it does take slightly longer. You do have to have patience. So I just pulled it a little bit there, just because the chick was on the other side. So I just tugged it and pulled it just so he could flip it over and get to it a bit better. So now we'll just let him take his own time to finish that off. And I will speed this up a little bit. Now we just got a little bit spooked there, guys. So he flew off a little bit to the angle, but he didn't try and actually fly off. He just went along the ground. So I don't know if it was something on the ground that spooked him. I don't know, but whatever it is, we've achieved what we needed to achieve today, which was him just to come down on the lure in the outdoor environment with distractions and not have to wait too long. So it's been a successful morning and definitely worth getting up at 5 o'clock for. So let's see what tomorrow brings. Of training GSA Falcon Splinter. So we're just walking to location now. Just gonna see how he gets on today. So we've weighed him again this morning. He hasn't lost that much weight. He's just 2 pounds this morning. So we're going to see how he reacts again today. And then obviously again tomorrow. So it's just a slow process. I don't want to drop him too much, to be fair. So yeah, we're going to see how we get on. I've just had Goku out. And Goku's just literally shut down. Because he was a bit too overwhelmed with everything after not being out for so long, and then also the grass cutters cutting the grass. So I do apologise if the camera's a bit shaky as well. So yeah, we've had to take him home. So if you want to see that, guys, or see what happened with that, go and watch part 1 of training a goshawk, or how to train a goshawk. So go and check that out and you'll see how he reacted and how he eventually stood up, and how we got him home. And by the time we got home, we was at the house, there was people stood round and we was talking, and he was all settled. So just to go to show you how extreme things can get, to a point where you more or less think you're going to lose your bird, or it looks that way to you and to others, but you're not. So anyway, let's go and get him settled and see how we get on today. So we're just going to quickly get things set up and see how we get on. So yeah, let's get this done. He is going to pull a little bit of weight with the setup that I've got today. Fortunately, I haven't used my brain before I've come out, so I'm just going to have to go with this. So like I said, guys, just feed this straight out of your pocket. Stand it upright, it'll just feed straight out. So see how we get on. Let's take off his hood. Come on.
guys. What happened was, because obviously he's high in weight, okay, he did his first initial couple of runs, and then after then he's decided that he wants to bugger off because obviously he's too heavy. So we already know that with him being 2 pounds, he's really heavy. So he's got a lot of answers to come off him before we've got that constant reaction and not having any of that. So that's why situations like that are so important for the crayons, okay? So yeah, and with it being in my pocket like this as well, guys, it doesn't obviously bring the crayons to an abrupt end. It actually gives some, but it slows it down as well and gives me time to thingy. So you don't have your bird automatically diverting down to the ground on a funny angle, could possibly damage his wings or anything like that. So yeah, we're just going to pop him back up in here and hopefully he sits for a minute without flying off, and just give us time to get the crayons together. Because now, guys, we're just going to try the lure. So right, so guys, we're going to try the lure and then let him feed on the lure. So whistle in your mouth. Don't get your lure stuck like me.
Right, a quick little note here, guys. I drag him on the lure because I don't want him looking back at the perch how he did yesterday, and he went to as if he was going to carry. So I dragged him a little bit to make sure he stayed on it. Also, to the same time, show him that being dragged while attached to something was perfectly fine, if you know what I mean. And then now I just let him obviously settle and enjoy his full feed now, a complete check on the lure. And then I will make into him. And then that's it, we'll wrap up for day 2.
Right, it's so important now, guys, not to try and make in on it. So whether this be the first or second time he's come down to the pad, you always make sure there's a full feed on there. All right, and you do not approach it until he's fully fed. You obviously make a look around, make sure there's no dogs at the time that you're about to get out of the lure, because the last thing you want is some dog running up on you. This is why ideally you do it on land or in designated areas, but I like to do it in these places because if I can get my hawk or my falcon to react with people, dogs and buildings and everything else around, then I will get a better reaction from them. Now the only reason that I left the yolks in when it comes to the lure is because the birds actually enjoy the yolk. If you ever watch one of the falcons or the hawks having yolk, they really like it. So it's not good for them, but it is nice for them to have. So I only give it them when they're on the lure. That's just my personal preference. So obviously we're going to do some more whistling now to let him know that the whistle is blown, and there's food. When he's eating, he associates it all with the whistle. Now if you've noticed there as well, guys, I do different volumes and different sorts of tones for sharpness and stuff like that, because that will all depend on different areas, on how I'm blowing my whistle as to distance and stuff like that. Obviously a short burst is for when I know I can see him, and then the longer ones are for when I've lost him and I want him to try and locate me. So more like so this, over time, guys, right from the start, from the very first point of you manning everything else, he's finished his food guy now, guys. So now I'm going to approach him. Now watch how I lie down here, guys. I'm down low. I've got the leads. Nice. As soon as he does that, guys, lure straight behind your back if it's not tangled up like it is for me. Hopefully without him, while he's focused on his food, we can get this away, at least out of, sorry guys, at least out of the sight of him. Now we're just going to let him have his shin of beef. So, alright, the hood is on now, guys. We're all sorted. All we've got to do is sort out the lure line and the clearance line. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop him here. Right, so we wind this up now. That will do for today. I'm really pleased. He's done a couple of flights to the glove. He's come down on the lure let again. And I'm happy that he's had what he's had for today. So obviously he had a full chick on the lure, as well as some shin beef. So today we know, with his weight of being at £2, we know we can continually drop him, so we know we can fly him again tomorrow, because we are still reducing weight at the moment. So he won't get fed again today. Now that'll be him. He might just get a chicken's leg for tonight, because I don't like my birds going to bed with no food. But other than that, that is it. And then we'll see what weight he's at tomorrow, and then we'll go again, guys. So we'll take a steady walk back now. And yeah, really enjoyed that. So I just want to thank everyone. Thank you so much for hitting that play button. Thanks for watching this part one. So yeah, we're just going to leave it at that, guys. Let's get him home.